define a class book. So you can write the first line of code, the keyword class followed by name of the class, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket, semicolon, with the following specification. Private members. If you don't write any access specifier name, by default it is private. Book number, integer type. So int followed by variable name, BNO for book number. Next one, book title 20 characters. So it is array of characters. So you can write char followed by variable name. Now 20 characters are there. So you need square bracket and size. The size is 20. Price of the type float, and this data member contains the price of one book. So float P for price. Total cost, a function. When you understand that a particular member is a function, straight away you can write the name of the function followed by function symbol and semicolon. Now you find the return type, find the signature. To find the return type, you check for the word return. So when you read the explanation, you can see that the word return is there. So here the word return is there. So here the return type is not void, something else comes. How do you find the return type? A function to calculate and return the total cost for n number of copies, n number of books. So price of one book is there in this data member. It is float. So price of n books will be float, a decimal number. So it returns the total cost for n number of books. So price of one book is float. So certainly price of n books will be float. So the return type is float. Now how do you find the signature? Check for these words, past, parameter or argument. So when you read the explanation, you can see that those words are there. The word past is there, the word argument is there. So how do you find the signature? N must be passed. And what is N? It is number of copies, number of books. So number of books must be integer, because we never say 3.5 books, 4.7 books. So this N must be integer. So signature part you can write it as int N. Public members. So you can use the access specifier name public followed by colon. Yes, public followed by colon. A constructor. So when you understand that a particular member is a function, straight away you can write the name of the function, and constructor has got the same name as that of the class, followed by function symbol and semicolon. Now find the return type, find the signature. Being a constructor, it does not have any return type, even void. To find the signature, read the explanation and check for the words past, parameter or argument. Those words are not there. So signature part is empty. A parameterized constructor, it is a member function with the same name as that of a class. So straight away you can write the name of the function, same name as that of the class, followed by function symbol, followed by semicolon. Now find the return type, find the signature. This is a constructor, so no return type, even void. How do you find the signature? Check for these words, past, parameter, argument. Yes, those words are there. So a parameterized constructor, that is this one, to initialize the data members. So these data members must be initialized. How? With corresponding values passed as parameters. The word parameter means the quantity written here, they are known as parameters. So in order to initialize this data member, I need a parameter here. So this is a data member of the type int. So certainly the first parameter will be int. So this data member BNO will be initialized using A. Now the second data member should be initialized using the second parameter. This is an array of characters. So certainly second parameter should be array of characters. Now here you don't need any size because in the function prototype, this declaration is known as prototype of a function or prototype of a constructor. So in the function prototype, when you declare an array, the size of the array is not a must. And if you give the size, it must be the same as this one. So I am not giving any size. So the second data member will be initialized using this parameter B. The third data member should be initialized using the third parameter. This is float. So certainly third parameter will be float C. So P will be initialized using the parameter C. Input function. So straight away you can write the name of the function, function symbol, semicolon. Find the return type, find the signature. To find the return type, this one does not contain the word return, so return type is void. To find the signature, explanation does not contain passed, parameter or argument, so signature part is empty. Next one, purchase function. Straight away write the name of the function, function symbol, semicolon. Find return type and signature. To find the return type, this explanation does not contain the word return, so return type is void. No return type. To find signature, explanation does not contain the words passed, parameter, argument, so signature part is empty. Show book. Straight away write the name of the function, function symbol, semicolon. Find the return type, find the signature. Return type. When you read the explanation, the word return is not there, so return type is void. When you read the explanation, the words past, parameter, argument, they are not there, signature part is empty. So class declaration is over. Now I need to define the functions outside the class. Let me start with the first one. Start with the return type, so this one. Followed by class name, followed by scope resolution operator. After that, name of the function, signature must be written as it is, followed by opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket. What about the body of the function? Read the explanation. A function to calculate and return the total cost for n number of copies. So inside this function, you should first calculate the total cost for n number of copies. After calculating the total cost, the answer should be returned. So inside this function, two things are there to be done. One, calculate the total cost for n number of copies. 2. After calculating the answer, you return the answer. First part, calculate the total cost for n number of copies. The price of one copy, one book is there in variable P. So what is the cost of n books? N into P. So calculation is done, n into P or P into n. Second part, you return the calculated answer. So this answer should be returned. Now if you want, you can have a bracket here, not compulsory. So calculation is done, and after calculating the answer is returned, and this function defined outside the class. Now let me define this constructor outside the class. Start with the return type. Being a constructor, no return type, even void. After that, class name, scope solution operator, name of the constructor. Here signature is not given. Opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. How will you write the body of the constructor? Read the explanation. A constructor to assign book number as 0. So this must be given the initial value 0. Yes, book number is equal to 0. Now book title should be given the initial value null. Word means string, and string means array of characters. So a new word comes. Word in C++ means string, and string means array of characters. So this array of characters should be given the initial value null. So book title, the variable name used is BT. So BT is equal to null. And here two mistakes are there. One, null is a word or string or array of characters. A string constant must be inside double quotes. Second mistake, in order to assign a string to an array of characters, don't make use of assignment operator. That must be replaced with a string copy. So here comma comes and a string copy. And finally, price must be given the initial value 0. So price is stored in variable P. So you can write P is equal to 0.0 because price is a floating point variable. So 0 should be written as 0.0. So this constructor defined outside the class. Now let me define this one outside the class. No return type because it's a constructor, followed by class name, scope solution operator, constructor name. Signature must be written as it is, opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket. How do you write the body of the constructor? A parameterized constructor, that is this one, to initialize the data members. So these data members must be initialized. How? With corresponding parameters. So this data member should be initialized using the parameter A. Book number is equal to A. The second data member should be initialized using the parameter B. Yes. So book title is equal to B. And here two mistakes are there. One, B is an array of characters, BT is an array of characters. Don't make use of assignment operator. That must be replaced with a string copy. So first comma comes here, then string copy. What the string copy function does is the value of this array will be copied to the array BT. That is, the second argument is copied to the first argument. Here no need for double quotes. Example, a character array is declared. It is given the initial value Tom. So if I write double quotes B, alphabet B comes. If I write simply B, the value of the array B comes, which is nothing but Tom. So here I want the value of this array to be copied to the array BT. So no need for double quotes here. The third data member should be initialized using the corresponding parameter. So here the corresponding parameter is C. So you can write P is equal to C. So one more constructor defined outside the class. Now let me define this one outside the class. Start with the return type, class name, scope solution operator, function name, it is input. Signature is not there, opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. Now here, how will you write the body of the function? Read the explanation. Input, a function to read. Here you can expect 5 words: read, enter, input, type, accept or fetch. In fact, 6 words are there. If you see any of these 6 words, meaning the quantity must be entered from the keyboard. So these 3 quantities must be entered from the keyboard. Let me read book number from the keyboard first. So these are the 6 words: read, input, accept, enter, type and fetch. Let me read book number from the keyboard. Scene input operator book number. Let me read book title from the keyboard. The variable name is BT. Scene input operator BT. A reminder, this is an array of characters. So if you want, you can write scene input operator BT, or you can write gets within bracket BT. The third one, price must be entered from the keyboard. Variable name uses P. So scene input operator P. So all the 3 data members entered from the keyboard. Now if you want, you can have a message also. Enter book number, book title and price. So one more function defined outside the class. Now let me define this one outside the class. Return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name, signature is not there, and opening curly bracket, closing curly bracket. How will you write the body of the function? Read the explanation. A function to ask the user to input. So out of these 6 words, input comes. The 6 words are read, enter, input, type, accept and fetch. So meaning quantity must be entered from the keyboard. Which quantity should be entered from the keyboard? Number of copies to be purchased. This must be entered from the keyboard. So let me do this first. Scene input operator N, number of copies entered from the keyboard. This is not a data member of the class. And why it is not a data member? Because it is not given as a data member, which means the variable should be declared inside the function. So input the number of copies. Scene input operator N, variable must be declared. If you want, you can have a message like this. So first part answered, input the number of copies to be purchased. Second part, it invokes total cost. So how do you call a function? How do you call the clear screen function? CLR SCR followed by function symbol. How do you call getCH function? GetCH followed by function symbol. So how do you call total cost? It is total cost, you can see. Clear screen followed by function symbol. How do you call exit function? Exit 0. How do you call square root function? SQRT within bracket A. So if A contains 16, SQRT 16, 4 is returned as answer. So in general, if you want to call a function, the method is name of the function within bracket variables if any. So here name of the function, and here the number of copies must be passed as an argument, and it is stored in variable n, so that n must be passed. So second part is over. It invokes total cost. The function is called. And the third part, print the total cost to be paid by the user. So if you want to print the answer, if you want to display the answer, it is cout output operator. Now how does display occurs here? When you see this symbol, understand that it is a function. On encountering a function call, finally control reaches the point where the function is defined. So finally control will come here, and this returns total cost as the answer. So suppose the total cost is 99, that 99 will come here, and because of cout output operator, 99 displayed in the computer's monitor. So anyway, print means cout output operator. Now if you want, you can have a message like this: number of copies is equal to output operator, this one. So one more function defined outside the class. Now the last one, show book. Return type, class name, scope resolution operator, function name, no signature, opening closing curly bracket. Now what should I do? Print all the data members on the screen. So these data members must be printed on the screen, that is displayed on the screen. Let me display this first. Yes, displayed. Now let me display this one. Yes, that is also displayed. Now let me display this one. Yes, it is displayed. So this function displays all the data members on the screen.